With 8-7 of spades in middle position, there's a button straddle to $50. Now we're playing 5, 10, 50. Stakes have kind of bumped up in this specific hand. Anyways, 2 players call the $50 straddle, and here with my suited connector, love playing these. I raise it up to $200. Played to my left, Tyler Bass, the kicker, makes the call, and 2 other people call the $200. So here we go, 4 ways to a flop, which comes.
In this hand for CoinPoker, we are playing 5, 10 with a $50 straddle. Okay, 2 players limp for 50. Then Rampage in middle position with 8-7 of spades, playing effectively $3,300 deep, makes it $200. I think I would have preferred a slightly bigger raise in this scenario because you don't really want anyone to call, and whenever you make it $200 over 2 $50 limps, those 2 players are going to call pretty much every time. I probably would have made it something like $300 or $350, unless you thought that would start to induce players to get to act to shove all in over you very, very wide, assuming they're all 3,000 or shallower as well. It is difficult to say exactly how many chips everyone has in this game. I don't know. As stacks get shorter and shorter, if you do raise, you want to raise to a smaller amount. Limping behind is also fine. Tyler Bass, the kicker. He's an actual kicker for the Buffalo Bills. He calls in position, and 2 other people call too. Let's go to the flop.
Jack 5, 6 rainbow. I have open-ended and a dream. Someone in the field leads out for a bet of $75. When action's onto me now, here I'm trying to pretend like I have a good hand. I don't think this lead is indicative of one of those good hands, so I'm going to try to pretend like I have a strong jack, an overpair, stuff like that. So raise up to $300. Then Tyler to my left, he makes the call, and everyone ends up folding.
The flop comes Jack of clubs, 6 of diamonds, 5 of spades. The player in early position leads for 75. Now, typically leads are an indicator of a medium strength hand. Most people lead with stuff like a 6 or 5 on this board. Now, some players will lead with draws. Some players will lead with the nuts, like sets. But most people, most of the time, assuming they're not trying to play good, strong, balanced poker, are leading with medium strength hands. So knowing that, Rampage will usually want to raise in this spot to a decent amount, something like $600 or $700. Because if you raise small, like to say 300, you're going to be giving everyone really good odds to call, because even though the opponent is leading 75, if you make it 300, they're still going to be getting really good odds to stick around because the pot was $865. Something a lot of players do wrong is they raise in a multiple of the previous bet, like 3 times the last bet. But that's not really a good thing to do at all when the bet is really, really tiny, because then you are giving everyone good odds to call. And alternatively, when the bet's really, really big, you don't want to raise to 3 times the bet, because any amount you raise is going to essentially force your opponent to put all their money in. Also, to further complicate this spot, Jonathan Little, talk. To further complicate this spot, I don't know how many chips the player in early position has. If they have something like $1,200, you definitely don't want to raise, because that's going to allow them to shove all in on you with any jack, and that's not really what you want with the 8 high. So calling could also be fine in this spot. Rampage goes 300 though. And I don't think I like this play in most spots, because if we are so shallow stacked, it still lets them shove. And if we are deep stacked, this does not give them bad odds and start to give you fold equity immediately. Anyway, the kicker calls, everybody else folds. Let's go to the turn.
Now we're going to a turn which is the 3 of spades, giving me a combo draw, and man, I will never be giving up now. With a spade draw, open-ended straight draw as well, I fire out $600 here, and my opponent makes the call and comes along again.
The turn is the 3 of spades, giving Rampage a flush draw to go along with the open-ended straight draw. He continues betting $600. This is a spot where I think his bet is perfectly fine, although checking, looking to check raise all in, could also be quite sweet, because you really don't want to bet something like 600 and then have Tyler rip it all in, because then you actually have to fold a straight flush draw, which is not really what you want to be doing. So you have to be careful betting if your opponent will just rip it in with lots of stuff. If they won't, though, betting becomes way more reasonable, because you always get to see the river. If you do check, I love check shoving, because that's how you're going to get a hand like a jack to fold, or a hand like 6-4 suited for a pair and a straight draw to fold. Whereas if you bet, those hands are never going to fold. So I think in this spot, I typically would err towards check shoving, but betting is also fine. Tyler calls the 600. Let's go to the river.
Now going to a river, which comes a king, overcard to the jack, and I am all in, because I'm not slowing down on this river card. I think it's really good. If my opponent has some sort of jack, because now obviously a king is scary, like ace jack doesn't like its life, queen jack, jack 10, jack 9, all those hands don't like it. And I can also just get higher spades to fold. So here I am. Can he fold a jack? He has about $2,000-ish in his stack, and I am all in, and then snap call. Oh no, that's not going to be good because my opponent has pocket kings. Nice hand, Tyler. Top set for the win. Double him up.
Rampage found his way to the river with almost a nut low, so you know what he's going to do. He punts it all in to the kicker. The kicker makes an easy reception. Kickers don't make so many receptions, do they? Well, this kicker did. He received the massive punt and won a nice pot. Before we leave today, I want to know who is a famous celebrity or athlete that you either have played poker with or want to play poker with. Take a second, think about it, write it down in the comment section below, and I'll be back with a fun story from a cash game I played a long time ago. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was playing 2550 no limit hold'em at Bellagio. I would normally sit there and play 5, 10, and 10, 20, but every once in a while, bigger games would pop up when a non-professional poker player wanted to play. One day, 2 sports stars came in. One of them was Derek Jeter, the baseball player. We play for a while, 2550. He's playing pretty well, actually. Shockingly well for someone who is not a professional poker player. And after a while, he found himself in a spot where he had queen jack on an ace king 10 board. He flopped the straight. A lot of money went in on the flop. A lot more money went in on a brick turn. The river paired the 10. He had almost no money left. He did a good job of getting it all in on the turn, pretty much. His opponent put him in for the rest on the river. He made the crying call and lost. And he was kind of beating himself up for calling on the river, but in reality, you probably just have to pay off. There's something like $1,200 more into a $15,000 pot or something like that. And Derek Jeter got stacked. If you enjoyed that story, no, it's not that exciting. Click the like and subscribe button. If you enjoyed this hand, click the like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you next time.